live from the virtual dirt track at Charlotte tonight. It's the 2023 VLR Spartan Transportation Fall Frenzy presented by Dirt Track Bank. Tonight, another VLR Crown Jewel event, this time paying a whopping $4,000 to the main event winner. And we welcome you to RaceSpotTV live on YouTube, live on the VLR Facebook page. Good evening, race fans. I'm Brett Wheeler, joined alongside Wes Gwaltney, Hugo Lee down in the production trailer, bringing you all of tonight's coverage. Tonight on the program, your last chance qualifier, followed by your main event at a distance of 100 laps around the virtual dirt track at Charlotte. Coming off a wonderful Sunday night with Group 1 and Group 2, which we see 24 drivers lock into tonight's 100-lap main event, we now wait and find out who will take the final two positions to make up a 26-car field to take out that elusive $4,000 payday. Wes, welcome back to the Spartan Transportation Fall Frenzy presented by Dirt Track Bank. How are you going, and are you ready for tonight?
Oh, absolutely. I'm excited to be here. I'm really excited to see what the racetrack's going to do. In this LCQ, you never really know what's going to happen. It's these guys' last chance to get in the show. They've only got 40 laps to get there, so I expect everything they're going to throw the kitchen sink at the racetrack. It looks beautiful. Looks like almost everybody's made the call from those two those two servers that we had on Sunday. The field who's going to pick up a $4,000 payday later on tonight.
Well, we go back to Sunday night, Group 1, a fantastic race. We've seen Desmond Busby again, the late race controversy on the final lap. Desmond Busby was able to sneak away with that victory over James Edens and Blake Majulis. And we all recall that conversation that we had with Blake. He said, well, all cards are off on the table. You know, he was coming back tonight to win that $4,000 payday. And, well, I think it's real justified, but he will have another 25 drivers that are going to be vying for that $4,000 payday. But I guess the race of the night would, and I think we can agree on this, that Group 2 was, I mean, that was something to sort of marvel about, because that was a race that went green to checker, and that race was basically decided in lap traffic. Evan Steed led for, I think it was 33, 34 laps. Logan Rumsey got by him, and it almost looked like Logan Rumsey was actually destined to go to victory lane, but Evan C had other ideas, and again, in that lap traffic, he was able to navigate his way back to the race lead, and he came away with a victory. Logan Rumsey came home second, and Mike Augustine had a hell of a run there as well. He rounded out the podium as well.
Yeah, those two were the class of the field. You know, Evans got the early jump, and then he caught lap traffic. He didn't really have anywhere he could go. Kind of got into a little contact there with a couple lap cars, and Rumsey was just in the right place at the right time to get the lead. Then the same thing basically happened to Rumsey. He got held up, and C had the preferred line. He drove back around him. Two lead changes there. It was pretty interesting to see green to checker, but a little bit different than what we saw in the first race. In that first race, we saw a lot of shaking and moving. The racetrack was a little bit different. I did go back and look at the racetrack settings, and we saw the top was a little more dominant in the first server compared to the second server. We'll see if it's about the same here in this one. As in that race, though, Rumsey and C kind of just showed everybody, hey, we are going to be the two favorites heading into this from server number 2. And I think Group A or server A is going to have something to say about it, because they had a heck of a race. We had about 6 guys duking out for the lead for most of the race.
Yeah, it was a fantastic Sunday night, and again, all culminating to what is going to be a $4,000 payday, another VLR Crown Jewel with that, like I said, that $4,000 paycheck on the line for these drivers. Really looking forward to seeing how this one goes. Right now, we've got 23 drivers signed into the virtual pit area for the last chance qualifier to find out which of these 23 drivers will take the final 2 spots. And, well, basically how it's all going to work tonight is we are not doing heat races. It's just straight into a 40 lap. Not going to call it a main event because it's a last chance qualifier. And if you're not inside that top 2, well, your Spartan Transportation Fall Frenzy will come to a close. But with that being said, I mean, we guess we can talk about the track right now, because I mean, Group 1, Group 2, like you said, they were totally different racetracks there. And with what we've been seeing so far in the practice session, it looks like it's starting to get pretty slick out there. There's a lot of marbles in 1 and 2, a fair bit of marbles in 3 and 4 as well. But man, this racetrack is getting real tricky and real technical over the course of the next 40 laps.
Absolutely. You know, the biggest thing I'm looking at is over in 3 and 4. You know, I was around a league race here last night, and if there's a lot of mud, you can drive it in and slide up the speedway, and you see that slider line really become the dominant line in 3 and 4, especially if you get some cushion on the top. They've really and the condition likes to build up on the wall if there's enough moisture in it. So we'll see if we have anybody that goes up there and hits that. I feel like a guy like Scott Fritz who's got to come from deep in the field. He was right there in one of those transfer spots in the feature event, and then kind of got bounced around a little bit. He, of course, was the first one to put on a show at a heat race, going from 6th to 1st in server number 1. So I'm interested to see somebody like Scott Fritz who's willing to try a little bit different line and try to get through the pack, because he's only got 40 laps to get to one of those top 2 spots, and it is going to be hectic as all get out to get up there.
Certainly as well. It is time to go racing. Last chance qualifier here in the VLR Spartan Transportation for Frenzy. Let's take a look at your starting lineup. Talon Willis lines up on the pole position. Zach Jenkins will start from position number 2. James Starry rolls off at a position number 3. Rico Robles from 4. Carson Friedman will start position number 5. To the outside from position number 6, James Braswell Jr.
We head back to row number 4, a driver who was right there in the thick of it on Sunday night. Hayden Tullis will be the inside of row number 4. Cody Nevin to his outside. Stephen Gaines will make up position number 9. Christopher Joy to his outside in position number 10. Colton Herbert, keep an eye on him. He was your birthday bash winner. He'll start 11th. And Thaddeus Marshall will be the outside of row number 6.
We go row 7. Bob Klein will start from position number 13. Bryce Dickinson, the 84, will start 14. 15th is going to be Ben Countermarsh from position number 16. It's the 00 of Kendall Tucker. From 17, it's the 28 of Mason Lobb. From 18, it's the 99 of Chase Hardy.
We head all the way back to row number 10. Our final 5 starters going to be showing up here. Curtis Griffin will be the inside of row number 10 with Charles Barnes to his outside. Caleb Hudgens making up the inside of row number 11. Scott Fritz, keep an eye on him for 22nd. And rounding out the field is the 19 machine of Austin Holder.
23 drivers getting set to do battle. 40 laps around the dirt track at Charlotte. 2 drivers going to continue their quest at a $4,000 payday in the 2023 VLR Spartan Transportation Fall Frenzy, presented by Dirt Track Bank here on iRacing. Live on RaceSpotTV, live on the VLR Facebook page. We thank you so very much for your company here tonight, and we look forward to a fantastic night of racing. Wes, quickly, who do you think? I mean, this is going to be tough for the 23 drivers. Who do the 2 do you think that are going to go through to lock themselves into the 100 lap feature?
I'm not sure about the 2, but I'll put my money on Connor New outside the front row there, or as he drove through the field. Actually, Zach Jenkins, who had fought with Connor New in that qualifying feature, keep an eye on Zach Jenkins. I'll take him. And then from deep in the pack, Stephen Gaines was quick on Sunday night, so he's going to be one to watch too.
Keep an eye on Kendall Tucker in the 00 as well, also along with Cody Nevin. Here we go. Green is out. 40 laps is to distance. You see Talon Willis leading. Zach Jenkins down the back straightaway. James Starr, you're going to have Rico Robles diving down to the inside for that 3rd and 4th position. Robles getting a little loose off turn number 4, but he gathers it back up, and he now shoots back down to the inside on Starries. They work down through turn number 3, 1 and 2.
Talon Willis wasted a little time getting to the early lead. Zach Jenkins is already under fire from Robles and the 741 machine of James Starr. We saw him throw some sliders on Sunday. Now he is clear of the 7 machine. He'll look at the inside of Jenkins down the back straightaway. A lot of grip still on the bottom of the racetrack as they work down the back stretch.
Watching Chase Hardy trying to come through the field. There we see the 28 car of Mason Lobb. Cody Nevin not too far in that mix as well as they go down the front. They go side by side down the front straightaway. Hardy just got over the cushion. The right rear quarter panel just got into the wall. Nevin and Lobb, they'll go side by side down the back straightaway. Talon Willis still your race leader. James Starry's now found his way to position number 2 as he's just gotten by Zach Jenkins as the pair's going to race side by side. Beautiful shots here on screen.
Absolutely. As Zach Jenkins went from 2nd back to 4th, now he's got to rally as Talon Willis continues to put some distance between him and the battle for the final transfer spot. So far, so good through the first 6 laps of this one. There's still a little bit of beating and banging going on, but toss the strategy out the window. Let's go from the drop of the green flag, and that's exactly what we're seeing here. The racetrack going to slicken up a little bit, I think, get a little bit racier, but you got to get what you can early on in this one.
Yeah, absolutely. James Starry on screen there on the 741 machine. He has got that all-important 2nd and final transfer position on board. Right now, as we see, I believe that's Rico Robles is. He'll run the low side, trying to track down James Starry for the runner-up position. But well, I tell you what, Robles, if you can have a look at his mirror, he's got a 62 car of Zach Jenkins all over the back of him as they work down the back straightaway. And Zach Jenkins, going to get into the back there of Robles. He'll now open up the door. Zach Jenkins going to move to position number 3. That'll put Robles back to 4th. And then here comes the 07 machine. You mentioned him earlier, Stephen Gaines. Boy, he's coming thick and fast.
Stephen Gaines finally getting his feet under in there as he might have burned off a little bit of fuel, got the tires warmed up. That right rear tire is so crucial in these. Do you make the early jump and have it really high in the right rear and burn a little bit of tire off and then maybe fade late in the race? Or do you have it really high as we go 3 wide down the back straightaway? Rico going from 3rd to 5th as now he's going to be the meat in the sandwich between Jenkins and Gaines. Jenkins has the 3rd spots. Battle continues for 4th as here comes Carson Friedman.
Well, I tell you what, now this 3-car battle now becomes a 4-car battle, but right now it's not for a transfer spot. It's just for bragging rights at the moment. Talon Willis, James Starry on board with Stephen Gaines. He's somewhat of on the bottom of a 3-wide battle, and they're only using half of the racetrack now. Robles and Jenkins, they go side by side to the 1st and 2nd turn. Stephen Gaines got the best seat in the house at the moment to watch this battle for 3rd and 4th. Robles slides up in front of Jenkins. Jenkins tries to cut it back underneath. Now here comes Stephen Gaines, 3 wide down the front straight away, and Gaines is looking to go from 5th to 3rd.
Stephen Gaines knows it is go time as here comes Rico back to the inside, making it 3 wide down the back straight, but that bottom is so good on exit. Oh, the Uke tire doesn't move, and Rico's going to push all the way up the racetrack. Here comes Jenkins again. Here comes Gaines back on the bottom. Gaines knows, hey, I got to get clear of these guys because Starry and Willis have checked out, and that's exactly what it needed as our first Cruise Petragon Esports caution flag flies of this feature event with 13 laps in the books.
Not only does that come at the right time, that also helps actually Stephen Gaines because he was 3rd at the start-finish line, and just goes to show you, well, if you get the cautions at the right time at this stage of the race, on lap, what is going to be lap number 14, so still 26 laps left to run, that caution flag has just flown at the right time there for Stephen Gaines because Talon Willis and James Starry, they'd really driven away from the rest of the field. They were looking like if this race had stayed green, I mean, there's no way that those 2 guys would have got beaten in any way. But now with that yellow flag comes out, it puts us back to a double file restart. It opens up the possibilities because now you bring in the likes of, you know, Stephen Gaines, Zach Jenkins, Rico Robles, Carson Friedman was there as well. I mean, you've got James Braswell Jr., Kendall Tucker. I mean, the birthday bash winner, Colton Herbert, he's there as well. He's sitting in about 9th or 10th position also.
Yeah, absolutely. Tucker and Herbert have been on the move as Tucker started back in 16th, currently runs 8th. Mason Lama as well from 17th to 11th. Keep an eye on this restart. Something else I noticed during the caution there, a lot of guys were rolling in those crumbs on the top side, so expect the top to start coming around here again as that bottom continues to get used up.
We'll have to wait and see how the rest of the night is, or the rest of the race is going to go. Oh, James Braswell really sleeping on the start. Oh, Colton Herbert, he went underneath him, Braswell. Boy, there's a whole calamity on the front straight away. We're staying green for the moment right now. Down the back straight away. It's going to be Gaines and Jenkins go down into turn number 3 and 4 as they try and track down James Starry along with Talon Willis, and the caution flag will fly.
Yeah, 2nd Cruise Petragon Esports caution flag of the race as that was not a good restart for Gaines. We'll see kind of what happened here. And they were just a little bumper car action. Everybody gets bunched up, and there goes the 89 around. And late to the party, little contact there back to the pack, and that ends the night. Caleb Hutchins, who was really good in his qualifying feature on Sunday, and it started to fade kind of through the middle part of the race. So Caleb Hutchins' night probably coming to an end, and I mean, a great effort to qualify for the LCQ at that because of what a solid field we had even on Sunday nights in the 2 servers. Just to make it this far is a big accomplishment.
Yeah, absolutely. It's to get this far into the last chance qualifier, we know that where we sent what was 60, 70 drivers packing already, but before we even come into tonight, because we've already locked in 24, we're 23, so we've sent home about 70 something drivers after the first 2 groups on Sunday night. So to make it this far, but for these drivers at the moment, it's not over just yet. There's still plenty of laps to run. 25, and we always say that, you know, the cautions do bring caution. Okay, yes, we've had back-to-back caution, but that all comes off the back of what was a slow restart. I believe it was on James Braswell, and Colton Herbert just sort of shot up the inside. So race control, they've got a bit of a situation to deal with here, and no doubt they're talking to the drivers, letting them know, hey, come on, let's clean this act up a bit, and we'll go back racing. And speaking of going back racing, that's exactly what we're going to do right now. Talon Willis, James Starry, Front row once again. Willis gets on the throttle. We're back to green. 25 laps left to go. And James Starry on board. Stephen Gaines right now, the first car to miss out at the moment. If the field was to finish like it is now, as here comes Robles looking down to the inside. Jenkins thought about sending it upstairs. Now he will have to send it upstairs. Mason Lobb trying to come on the inside. Kendall Tucker goes right through the middle, but watching Stephen Gaines is James Starry now going to be under pressure, but also putting the pressure to Talon Willis.
Absolutely, that two-car breakaway of Willis and Starry as Gaines had pulled in the back bumper there of Starry in turns 3 and 4 last time. Oh no, we got another one sideways, another pile-up down through the back, or going on the front straightaway out of turn number 4. So our third Cruise Petragon Esports caution flag flies in your CFM Designs by JDM Last Chance qualifier as Talon Willis wasted little time there. He knew he wanted to get out front. Clean air is so crucial at a place like this, Eldora, Knoxville, those places that are big, and you can kind of build up a gap, and being out front means so much.
Absolutely. Take a look at the Cruise Petragon Esports instant replay. Nevin gets into the back of Curtis Griffin. I don't think Nevin had anywhere to go in that exchange. Griffin just looks like he just slid up right across the nose of the 11 car of Nevin. As we come back live here from the virtual dirt track at Charlotte 2023 VLR Spartan Transportation Fall Frenzy, presented by Dirt Track Bank, live on RaceSpotTV, live on the VLR Facebook page. We thank you so very much for your support here, not only on Sunday night, but of course tonight to wrap up what is going to be another VLR Crown Jewel event, paying $4,000 to win right now on the racetrack. Your last chance qualifiers. Only the top 2 of these 23 drivers that made the starting grid will have an opportunity at a quest to take home a $4,000 paycheck. Lights are out on the safety car, which means we are going back green. With these cautions just flying in the past sort of 4-5 laps or so, it's starting to get these drivers just a little on edge, and they know that if they need to go now, because if they don't, it could be an opportunity that goes begging.
Absolutely. You've got to fire whenever you get a chance when you get to feel bunched up like this. Keep an eye on Kendall Tucker. He's already 16th to 6th, and Griffin was up to 8th from 19th on that before that caution there. We're back to green. Willis jumping out to an early lead. Gaines already has company. Here comes Rico to his outside.
Robles to the outside on board. Kendall Tucker right now running back there in the 5th position. He's only got 3 more to go. Has to check up. There's Robles. Almost got into the back of Gaines. They work down the front straight. Another lap into the books, and we're only a couple of laps away from half race distance, and we're still none the wiser on who is going to take home the final 2 transfer positions. Now Jenkins to the inside on Lobb as they work down into turn number 3 and 4. Friedman, Fritz, Herbert, Dickinson. There is a monstrous pack right now going down into turn number 1 and 2, and this is all just for bragging rights to say, hey, I finished further up in front of the last chance qualifier than you in the Fall Frenzy.
Absolutely. Big wreck over in turn number 4, just as Kendall Tucker was moving to the 4th spot around Rico Robles. And big wreck that's going to take a lot of heavy hitters out there. At least this time we got some green flag laps, and we got, I believe, 5 laps in before that caution flag blew. Our 4th Cruise Petragon Esports caution flag of the night. And you see the damage there early to Mason Lobb. Jenkins just kind of sliding up here, right up in front of Lobb, and from there it was the accordion effect. Scott Fritz, man, he might have had the worst luck of anybody so far when it comes to this Fall Frenzy. Is Fritz had drove from 6th to 1st in his heat race, got bounced around in the qualifier on Sunday. He was starting to make a couple moves there. He was starting to be in the right spot, looked to the outside, try to get the outside line rolling a bit, and ends up on his roof, and his night is over.
It's amazing what you can do and how much your luck can change. Like you said, 6th to 1st in his heat race. They started 4th in group number 1. Unfortunately, finished back there in the 24th position, just a couple of laps down. And I mean, you've got to feel for him, because he was a guy that was going to be in contention for a potential $4,000 payday. But in order to have that opportunity, you've got to have your ducks in a row, and you've got to have things just lining up at the right point of the night to go through qualifying, go through your heat races, get through that main event. And once you do all that, then you set yourself up for the big show. And fortunately, Scott Fritz, he will unfortunately miss out, as we see Mason Lobb trying to come back out onto the pits, but he's actually got a broken right front, so That car is not going to turn, so I dare say that Mason Lobb's night is going to be done. But ready to come back to the green flag here at the virtual dirt track in Charlotte. And immediately once the green flag flies across, flag sticks will also wait. 20 down and 20 to go. Talon Willis leads the way once again as James Starry follows in suit. There's Gaines and Robles going to continue their battle down into turn number 3 and 4. Then you go back to Kendall Tucker along with Carson Friedman as they work down the front straight at one more lap into the books.
Well, it's the same in the first half. In the second half, we're going to see Willis and Starry dominating out front. Good battle back there for third. Not going to get you in the show as Kendall Tucker tries to shoot the gap between Robles and Gaines, and it looks like he may just pull it off. Kendall Tucker up to the third spot. Does he have anything for your top two? And does James Starry start to push the pace a little bit, knowing that Kendall Tucker is behind him to try to get by Willis, as right now Willis has about a 4-car length advantage over second.
Boy, Friedman got some company right now. Colton Herbert in the 89 mission along with Christopher Joy. And what I'm going to say, take this one as a pun, but he's been a joy to watch to come through this field so far. Joy on the inside of Friedman, Gaines on the inside of Robles. They work 2 by 2 down the back straight away. Gaines going to slide up across the nose of the 3-car of Robles. Robles turns it back underneath him down the front straight. Oh boy, Friedman, Joy, and Gaines. They go 3 wide in the middle of turn number 1 and 2. Gaines has got the run. Look at him now slide it down to the inside into turn number 3. He'll slide it all the way nearly to the concrete wall, but Rico Robles has quickly made his way back down to the inside. Just as we complete that lap, we have the yellow flag coming out.
Oh, mercy. Another caution flag, the Cruz Pedregon Esports caution. I believe that one's for James Braswell Jr. We'll have to go back and look at exactly what happened there on the replay, but it looks like Braswell was back there. Fritz had just got back out on the racetrack. As you see Braswell enter there in the middle of the racetrack, they kind of got bunched together, Barnes, and then he just kind of gets looped around by the chef Bob Klein. No intention there or anything, as just really nowhere to go for the 7 car.
Yeah, Braswell just getting caught up as well in that one, but unfortunately it's just it's the way it happens. Hey, have a look who's in third place. Kendall Tucker in that 00 machine. He is just been quietly picking these cars off one by one. And if there's anybody, I said at the start of the race, he's going to be one to watch. If there's anybody that can make a run through this last chance qualifier to have a potential shot at that $4,000 payday, it is going to be the man from right here in North Carolina. That is Kendall Tucker. And now he's going to restart third. Lights are out on the iRacing.com official pace truck. We are getting ready to go back green. Willis, Starry, Tucker, Robles, Gaines. That's your top 5. Then you go back to Friedman in 6th position, followed by Joy. We'll start alongside Colton Herbert, but 26 down and 14 to go. Kendall Tucker nearly went a little early there. Talon Willis doing an awesome job to change up the lines. Oh, Tucker and Robles come together. Stephen Gaines shoots down to the inside with 3 wide. 2 rows of 3 wide down the back straight away. Here comes Bryce Dickinson now to the inside of Kendall Tucker. Stephen Gaines has found his way back to position number 3. Poor old Bryce Dickinson went from 4th, and now he's fallen back to about the 10th position.
Wow, with 13 laps to go, a little bit of chaos there on the restart. Kendall Tucker, who looked like primed in a spot to get in one of those 2 transfer positions, gets bounced around a little bit. Gaines back up to 3rd. Does he have anything for your top 2 as Willis and Starry have checked out once again? Willis has changed his line. He's moved back to the top side in turns 1 and 2. As last time by, Starry ran a 15.504, and it looks like Gaines with a 15.569, so he was losing some ground on him. Does he have anything left in the final 10 laps? Saved by the caution once again. The Cruz Pedregon Esports yellow flag out.
Again, coming out of the right time there for the likes of Kendall Tucker, because, well, he restarted 3rd. We take a look at the Cruz Pedregon Esports instant replay. Caleb Hudgens just on the outside. In fact, yeah, there he is. Caleb Hudgens just getting, this is the 89 car. That's Colton Herbert, I believe that is, isn't it?
Yeah, it looks like Bryce Dickinson got in there just a little bit hot and caught him, looped him around, and I believe Bryce is going to be receiving the EOL here most likely and heading to the back.
Similar cars, the 89 cars of Herbert and Hudgens. That's what caught me off guard, was the fact that they're both 89. Normally you see you got the team cars that will run different numbers. Here we go, 11 laps left to run. Lap number 29 is complete. We'll start lap number 30. 11 circuits around the dirt track at Charlotte, and Talon Willis once again leads James Starry. Stephen Gaines, Kendall Tucker, Christopher Joy has third, fourth, or fifth. Got anything for your top two? It's been all Talon Willis and James Starry. It's their races to lose at the moment. Tucker to the middle of the racetrack, cuts it down to the low side off turn number 2, looking for speed on down the back straightaway, trying to get by Stephen Gaines, but Gaines has solidly got third at the moment.
Kendall Tucker has got to get around Stephen Gaines if he's got a shot at one of those top two. Kendall Tucker's been pretty quick so far in this one. He's running a little bit different line there in 1 and 2 as he enters through the middle, diamonds down the speedway into the grip. He follows right behind the footsteps of that 07 into turns 3 and 4 as Starry and Willis have really pulled away once again as we come to 7 to go.
7 to go next time. By looking at lap times, the two guys out in front, they are low 15.5s. Everybody else basically 15.6s, 15.7s, and really goes to show why these two drivers are the class of the field at the moment. See a big slider there from the 327 car of Hayden Tolleson. I'm going to say Hayden Tolleson, early on in this race, he was actually given an EOL, so watching Tucker again slide it up to the top of the racetrack, trying to change up the line. Yellow comes out with 6 to run. Now the tensions are starting to get high. This is where it all comes down to, because these drivers know if they're basically, I want to say, as long as nothing happens up near the front, if you're not in the top 5 or even the first 3 rows, I really don't think these drivers have got an opportunity to take a look at the Cruz Pedregon Esports instant replay. Cody Nevin goes around. I think he may have had a helping hand as we come back live. But yeah, Wes, I think I'm looking at this and looking at the way that the racetrack is. I'm going to say if you're not inside the first 3 rows, I think it's pretty much signed, sealed, delivered of your fate of the 2023 VLR Spartan Transportation Fall Frenzy.
I'd have to completely agree with you on that one. I think if you're not in the first probably 4 or 5 positions, even 6 with Tolleson, he's going to really need something to happen to Kendall Tucker. Now, Tucker had a pretty good restart last time, but so did Gaines, and Gaines slid up right in front of him, so Tucker kind of got stuck behind the 07 machine. See what he can do here. He looks like he's trying to get a nice little start, kind of close the back bumper of Starry as we're back underway, and Willis and Starry make some contact. That opens over Kendall Tucker in turn number 1. He's going to go to the outside.
Oh, big moment there for Kendall Tucker. Can he get into the second, or can he get into the second spot to get into that transfer position? Talon Willis, good restart there from James Starry. Oh boy, Tucker and Gaines make a little bit of contact. Hayden Tolleson as well. Here he comes right through the middle of the racetrack. Hayden Tolleson, he's going to be one to watch as well. But boy, Talon Willis is all over the back of James Starry. They come into 3 and 4, coming to 4 laps left to run. Who will get the final 2 transfer spots for the Spartan Transportation Fall Frenzy?
Well, we're going to find out. Here's the 3-car breakaway out front. Talon Willis had been perfect on every single restart until that one, as he had momentarily lost the second spot. He pulls the back bumper of Starry. The problem is he can't go anywhere as fast. He is limited by the driver in front of him. That allows Kendall Tucker to be right there. 3 cars for 2 positions with 3 laps to go. They're going to keep banging off each other. It's Willis and Starry down the back straightaway. Here comes Kendall Tucker.
Tucker down to the inside on Talon Willis. Willis has led probably 32, 33 laps, so the race slides up across the nose. Starry's going to go around. James Starry goes around. Well, if it isn't without controversy, this is a huge call to make for race control. And Wes, I do not want to be in their shoes right now.
Not by any means. You gotta, see Tucker's wanting to throw that slider there on Willis as they got together, as Willis and Starry get together down the back straightaway. Tucker sees an opening here. He says, okay, I think I can slide that 10 car and slide right in on the leader as well and not get into him. He gets a little hot in there. It neck codes the left rear of Starry. Would have probably got him either way. And then from there, it's a bunch up. And your top 2 drivers who have been out front this whole race now head to the back of the pack, and that changes everything.
So there is a huge, a massive call to make.
They've made it.
Kendall Tucker goes from the lead. He now gets sent to the tail end of the field. The initial contact was on Kendall Tucker. But what that does as well, Hayden Tolleson now goes to the outside. Go back earlier on in this race. Just look, he was actually the first, I believe he was the first car to get sent to the end of line.
I think we have a little frustration on the racetrack as well. Yeah, Hayden Tolleson has drove back through the pack as, he was part of one of them early cautions and then kind of been driving safe per se, and putting his nose, trying to keep it clean as far as he could. And then that happens there. He's right back where he wanted to be. He had restarted 5th in that last restart. Tollison started 7th, so he just kind of hung out in the top 5 or so for most of the race. Now he's going to be riding the catbird seat. As Talon Willis, got to wonder what damage to that nose that he has after the Kendall Tucker slider, as now Stephen Gaines back in it. So is Christopher Joy. Back underway we go with 3 to go.
Make it 2 as they come across the start-finish line. Hayden Tollison tries to run down Talon Willis, who has led for the most part of this last chance qualifier, but here comes Christopher Joy. Tollison is going to have his hands full here in the final lap. White flag is out, 1 lap left to go. We're going to race it out for 1 more lap to find out who is going to get a spot in the 2023 VLR Spartan Transportation Full Frenzy into turn number 3. Off for turn number 4, Talon Willis is going to the big turns, and Hayden Tollison is going to join him.
What a finish to that one. Hayden Tollison and Willis, man, making their way into the show.
Just when you thought, we knew it was going to be hands. We knew it was going to be gloves off. It was just an all-out absolute slugfest. And, well, not without the drama. But Talon Willis will get the win. Home in second is going to be Hayden Tollison. Those 2 drivers, they will find themselves into the main event. We take a look at your results for the likes of, and unfortunately for Christopher Joy, who started 10th, ended up finishing 3rd. Stephen Gaines will grab 4th. 5th, there's going to be Thaddeus Marshall from the 12th starting position. Colton Herbert from in 6th. Bryce Dickinson 7th. Kendall Tucker will grab 8th. Cody Nevin will grab 9th. Running at your top 10 is going to be Carson Friedman. 11th is going to be Curtis Griffin. Caleb Hutchins comes home 12th. Then you go back to James Braswell Jr., James Starry, Bob Klein rounding at your top 15. Scott Fritz, Charles Barnes, Rico Robles, Mason Lobb, Zach Jenkins make up your top 20, with Chase Hardy, Austin Holder coming home 21st, 22nd, and Ben Countermarsh in position number 23. I believe we're going to go straight out. We're going to go track side right now to chat to your winner and your runner-up. We'll bring in Talon Willis. Talon, congratulations on this last chance qualifier win. You've made the big dance, and now you battle it out for $4,000. Are you excited to get this one in the books, and are you excited for what's to come and what you're about to battle for?
Oh yeah, I'm super excited. Just glad to be here. The car was really good, and I don't know. I was just hoping to make the race, and got it done. Wish I could have made it through the prelim, but just part of it, and had to race hard for this one. And things went our way, and sometimes they didn't, but for the most part they did, and just glad to be here.
Now you pretty much had this top 2 transfer spot locked up, of course, not without its dramas and controversy late in that one. Talk us what was going through your mind there with, I think it was coming to 3 or 4 laps left to run, and that final run with an incident with Kendall Tucker, which allowed you to restart on the pole. What was going through your mind at that stage?
Yeah, I'm kind of more of like a groove type racer, so like I was kind of hoping that there wasn't going to be any cautions. I felt like I could just get in the groove and kind of pull away and try some lines and do some different things. But I said probably 10 prayers per caution, but made it work, and it was I was almost shaking. I ain't even gonna lie. The last 3-4 laps got intense. Kendall, I respect what he did. He was going for the top 2 transfer. Sometimes things just don't go your way, but I definitely respect what he does. He raced really hard. I think he started pretty far back, but he definitely put on a show for everybody, I would say.
So they did, but it's not about him. It's all about you getting the win here tonight in the last chance qualifier. Talon, before we let you go, we'll let you thank everybody. We'll let you thank everybody involved on this number 10 machine and who helped you get to victory lane.
Oh yeah, I'd like to thank Majula Steve Speed Shop, Slick Race Graphics, all the VLR guys for putting this on, Ferguson, Heat, CFM, just everybody that's behind the scenes on this thing. It's a big race, and just glad to be a part of it.
Talon, well done on the win. Good luck in that $4,000 crown jewel Spartan Transportation 4 Frenzy coming up in a few moments' time.
Thank you.
Talon Willis, your last chance qualifier winner. Where's Waltney? Caught up with a runner-up of Hayden Tolleson.
Hayden, you got a copy?
Yes, sir.
So take us through that last restart there. You kind of hang around the top 5 for most of that race, and then you see Kendall Tucker catch the top 2. You see the slider happen. What's kind of going through your mind whenever you see the top 2 all get tangled up?
You know, I kind of knew something's going to happen there, and I was just waiting for it to happen, and eventually it happened, and, you know, kind of luckily avoided it, and just kind of got lucky there.
Take us through how the track changed a little bit. We saw kind of the bottom dominant a little bit early, and then the middle was the dominant line there in 3 and 4. How was your car through that race, and what's going to need to be changed for the 100-lapper?
We were a little too tight there. I felt a little tight. Couldn't really move around much, but I mean, running bigger than that, so you know that's always a plus. Just making the prelim the other night was a accomplishment for me, and not necessarily a lapper, so we'll have to come from deep, but you know, make some changes and hopefully be good in the future.
Since you're rolling off from 26, what's kind of the game plan for the 100-lapper? You gonna try to go from the drop of the green flag and try to conserve a little bit of tires? Of course, tire wear added now with iRacing. So, are you gonna try to get to the front as quick as you can, or are you just gonna try to stay on the lead lap and be there at the end?
I ain't really sure it will. I kind of have to decide on that when it comes here, and you know, I'm pretty sure Blake and Nevin gonna give us a good car right here, and I don't know. I'll probably have to go pretty hard, just try to get track position. And, you know, we'll just see when it gets here.
Congratulations, you're in the big show. Let's talk about those sponsors.
Yeah, I just gotta thank all guys at CFME Sports, Tat3 Defense, Sweet Victory Apparel, all the guys at VLR for putting this on, and, yeah, I'm just, very honored, very pleased, and, happy to be in the race.
All right, well, best of luck, man. We'll see you in the 100-lapper.
Yep, see.
All right, that was Hayden Tolleson with the runner-up finish in the last chance qualifier. We get set for our 100-lap main event. But before we do, just going to bring up on screen just a couple of things to go over, of course, with the wonderful sponsors of this wonderful event in the 2023 VLR Spartan Transportation Fall Frenzy, presented by Dirt Track Bank. We could see on screen the sad news now. People haven't heard that the news broke through today that one of our own racers sadly no longer with us. Sean Timmerman left us to be with the big guy upstairs at age 25. Sean was destined to make the 2023-24 iRacing World of Outlaws Sprint Car World Championship this season. However, unfortunately, that journey will no longer happen. Sean was sitting 8th in the points after 5 rounds, with only racing in 4 of the 5 weeks so far. His stats so far going into what was the 4 weeks last week at Lincoln Speedway, week number 4, he finished 17th. Prior to the week of that, week number 3 at Port Royal, he won the top split. The second week, he ran 4th at Kokomo. And in week 1, he took out a 2nd place finish at the dirt track at Charlotte. He's had 3 top 5s in the 4 races. He was in the 2020 World Championships for the sprint cars, and after finishing 21st in that series, he had 1 top 5 in that 2020 campaign. Couple of stats about Sean's iRacing career. He had 855 dirt oval starts. Of those 855 starts, he had 416, making it a win percentage of 48.65%. He had 657 starts on the oval side of things with 70 wins. We go to the road side. He had 22 starts for 3 wins. On the dirt road, 295 starts for 105 wins. He has a win in all 4 of those categories: oval, dirt oval, road, and dirt road. There is a memorial race that David Allen is putting together. He's a competitor, as you can see on screen, a competitor, a mentor, and a friend to many. To Sean's family, friends, and loved ones, he will be sadly missed. Now, The big picture is that we have a 2023 Fall Frenzy, thanks to Spartan Transportation and Dirt Track Bank. Again, we want to thank everybody involved that has helped make this possible. Of course, the title sponsor, Spartan Transportation, presenting sponsor of Dirt Track Bank, our caution and replay sponsor, Cruise Pedregon Esports. Your night one sponsor was Majula C Speed Shop. Your qualifying sponsor was Speed Ranch Setup Shop. Heats 1, 2, 3, and 4 over groups 1 and 2 was presented by the Dirt Track at Charlotte. Heat 5 was brought to you by Plum Wild Podcast. The B main sponsors was Logan Motorsports. Your Group 1 server main event was sponsored by Spartan Transportation, and Group 2 sponsor was brought to you by Stephen Whitaker Racing. You can see about to come up on screen right now is your individual lap sponsors. There is 100 of them. So to everybody that has chipped in to become a lap sponsor, we thank you so very much on behalf of the Victory Lane and VLR Spartan Transportation Fall Frenzy, everybody behind the scenes that has made all this possible. Now, with that being said, Wes, we've gotten through Group 1, Group 2. We've gotten through our last chance qualifier, and now we get set to embark on a 100-lap journey around the virtual dirt track at Charlotte. This is going to be exciting. I mean, it is anybody's ball game. You cannot count anybody out.
Absolutely. I mean, as we've seen in the qualifying features, and especially in that LCQ, I mean, even there going toward the end, we thought we knew who our 2 transfers were going to be, and then that craziness happens there and that takes James Starry out of the race, and end up Tollison going to be able to get in. Now he's going to try to give it all he's got, starting from 26. Talon Willis, who was kind of dominant there, he had fallen back out of a transfer spot. He'll be rolling off from 25th. You've got 26 guys who are rolling in there, ready to try to win that $4,000 payday. You've got so many storylines, of course. Is it going to be Evan C. reigning supreme once again after winning the Spring Fling back in June and then being so dominant in the World of Outlaws Pro Championship as well? Can he add another crown jewel to his name? And what we've already figured up, over $20,000 in winnings in 1 year. That's impressive. Everybody's going to be gunning for him. Everybody wants that $4,000 payday. And Desmond Busby, we haven't talked a whole lot about him. He's going to be rolling off from the pole. He was in the right place at the right time, but he got there because he was fast. He'll be leading us to green later on.
Well, a couple of big movers through the first couple of groups, and out of those 24 drivers that have locked in, I'm just going to go through and just rattle off a couple of spots. So Justin Norwood went from 17th to 11th. He's locked into the big show. Nathan Waddell went from 20th to 10th. Go back a little behind, just one spot behind him. Casey Brunson from 21st to 9th. Jamie Massey went from 18th. He finished 8th. Keith Hackney went from 16th to 7th. Dylan Wilson went from 11th to 6th. Barrett Bishop, 12th to 4th. That was just in group number 1. We flipped the page. Tanner Tomasi in group 2 went from 12th to 5th. And then it was Connor New, who went from 23rd to 10th. Now, you mentioned him over the course of that feature event on Saturday night after having to run through that B main in group number 2. He showed he's got what it takes, although he's going to have to do it again if he wants to have a shot at that $4,000 crown jewel here of the Spartan Transportation Fall Frenzy. He's going to have to come from that, what would be, I think, 21st, or he's going to come from the 11th row regardless, because, again, he's no stranger from doing it from the back already, although on Sunday night, it was 40 laps. It's a different story. We put 100 on the board, and there is a whole lot of strategies that have to go into this one.
Absolutely. I mean, you've got guys, you've got the top names now in iRacing. We've whittled it down to the best of the best, and it's not going to be easy to even pass 1 or 2 of them, let alone 22 or however many he's going to have to get by. Connor New's been very impressive as of late, of course, getting the big upset victory during the UMP Modified Series, but I think that was his just really, hey guys, I'm here. I'm going to be one of these fast guys too. So keep an eye on him coming from deep in the field. As you mentioned, the 2 different servers. We had a lot of guys that were really able to move through the pack in the first qualifying feature. As that one, we had a couple cautions, people catch some breaks. The second one went green to checkered. What kind of racetrack are we going to get as well? The first one, we were 3, 4, 5 wide throughout the pack for much of it. In the second qualifying feature, it was a little more tame, but we had the great battle for the lead between Rumsey and C, as those 2 really stood out in the second server. The first server, I mean, it was kind of an open ball game. Of course, Desmond Busby got the victory, but James Edens and Blake Majulis were very good in that very first server. They got together and opened the door for Busby. So I don't know. It really is wide open. We keep saying that. Everybody, of course, is gutting for Evan C with all the accomplishments he has on the year. But I mean, it's 100 laps, and we've seen crazier things happen. And when you add that kind of thing in, you add the money in, things get wild.
Absolutely. It certainly does get a little wild. We are just waiting for that one. But now we take a second to move away from sim racing, and we'll move to real life stuff. November 1st through to November 4th. 4 days, three premier series, 3 champions. It's the World of Outlaws World Finals live at the Dirt Track at Charlotte. The World of Outlaws NOS Energy Drink Sprint Car Series, your Super Dirt Car Series, and your World of Outlaws Case Construction Late Models. You can check it out at the World of Outlaws WorldFinals.com. If you are anywhere near the area, even if you're not and you want a chance to go watch spectacular racing at the Dirt Track at Charlotte, November 1st, November 2nd, November 3rd, and November 4th, I highly suggest. I know myself, I'll be watching live on dirtvision.com, but for people that have a chance and an opportunity to go to the World Finals, I suggest you get out there and get your backside trackside for the World of Outlaws World Finals to crown 3 champions of your 3 Premier Series. Right, what we'll do, we're going to quickly take a quick commercial break while we wait for everything to fall in place here for the 2023 VLR Spartan Transportation Fall Frenzy, presented by Dirt Track Bank, here live on RaceSpotTV, live on the VLR Facebook page. We'll be back in just a few short moments.
Reynolds is trying everything. The kitchen sink is being thrown at it. They're leaning on each other. Coming into turn number 3. It's going to be a drag race through 3 and 4. Coming back to the line. Here comes Frisch on the bottom.
Richard's going to hold the inside. Tries to be the late breaker here. They're going to be side by side through the final chicane. They bang doors but keep it clean.
As they're still 4 wide on the run down into the back straightaway. Demerit's looking for a line as well. What is going on in Michigan?
Novak into the fence. They're still beating and banging. And to the line.
He is much faster coming through there. Is there damage on Challenger? Apromitis is ahead. There's going to be a race to the line. Who is going to get it?
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head to head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series in officially licensed cars engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
We are back live from the virtual dirt track at Charlotte for the 2023 VLR Spartan Transportation Fall Frenzy, presented by Dirt Track Bank, here live on RaceSpotTV, live on RaceSpotTV, live on the VLR Facebook page. Brett Wheeler joined alongside Wes Gwaltney, Hugo Louis down in the production trailer, as we have a very special guest, one of the brains of the organizations to help put this on this special event. We are joined by Chris Ferguson. Fergie, welcome to the booth, buddy. It's good to have you back.
Man, thank you for having me. Really have been enjoying the broadcast tonight and the racing, and that LCQ was pretty wild, plumb wild, if you really want to think about it. But yeah, just happy to be here, man, and y'all are doing a great job, and all the drivers. It's exciting to say the least.
It's another crown jewel event that VLR put on. I've already spoken about the birthday bash, the spring fling that has been going for 16 or 17 years. I mean, it's just a crazy amount of time, and how long VLR has been around, and you've come into it sort of the past couple of years, and talk us what it's like to actually put on these, not only these big events, but to pay out the money that you guys do, because there's no other comparison, and there's nobody else that does this kind of paycheck.
Well, first and foremost, the guys behind the scenes, they deserve all the credit. Howard Weaver, as much as I hate to admit it, he built it to what it is nowadays. And Stephen Calvo, Rocky Battenfield, Tyler Burrow, KT King, Tommy Rowe, just all the guys that put on an exceptional showcase of their talents. And everyone has different talents. That's the thing that makes this team great. But they do a great job, and when it's all said and done, they're able to pull off the biggest races and the biggest sponsors, the most prestigious events. And as we're watching right now, there's 200-300 live viewers, and there's just so many big name people involved in this. And that this team of guys that's behind the scenes, they're the ones that's made it happen. And Brett, you're part of it too, and Hugo for the last couple events and in the past. And man, it's just it takes an army, but we're able to get it done. And we have a lot of sponsors too, so it's pretty cool. But we wouldn't be able to do it without the help of the sponsors too. So just want to take a second while I'm on the broadcast. I know Cruz Pedregon's tuned in, which is really cool. He's one of the legends of the Nitro Funny Car Racing. Cruz has been supporting VLR for a while, and also our other businesses too. But Cruz is an avid iRacer. He gets in and races with all these guys. Just want to tell Cruz thanks for being a part of this. As everyone sees, this is called the Spartan Transportation Fall Frenzy. Brian Reich and everyone at Spartan Transportation, they do a great job supporting our events, and they come on board, wanted to have this event earlier this year, and they were gracious enough to hire Rocky Battenfield and have him as a trucker for their business. Even with all his tardiness and as terrible of an employee he is, Brian does a great job and keeps Rocky employed. But I just want to thank him personally for everything. And then also just want to give a shout out to Jay Burdick, that's with Malvern Bank and Dirt Track Bank. I do encourage any of the racers out here, whether they're real world racers or iRacers, to if you have a chance, switch your bank account to Malvern Bank or transfer everything over to Dirt Track Bank. He supports dirt track racing. He supports iRacing, and VLR will be swapping all of our accounts over too. So, thanks to those guys, and those three, along with the support from the dirt track at Charlotte, we wouldn't be able to have this event. You know, they all, they're the reasons why we're able to pull together this kind of purse, you know, not only once, but twice this year. So, you know, we did it at the Spring Fling. We're doing it again at the Fall Frenzy. We have the Gobbler right around the corner. And if it wasn't for partners like that, we would never be able to do what we do. So thanks to them, along with all the lap sponsors and all the Heat Race and B-Main, Prelim Nights, all the other sponsors that are on board. Man, I just thank you guys from the bottom of my heart. I'm enjoying the show. I don't have no pressure on me, thank God. All the drivers, you know, they got all the pressure, and good luck to all of them. And thanks to all the drivers too for supporting our events, man. We do it for you guys, and we're glad that we can bring you guys to this level and bring you guys to a stage that we continue to keep growing, and we'll never give up on making this extremely big one day.
You said we've got the Gobbler around the corner. I mean, if people want to get involved in supporting, you know, another VLR Crown Jewel event, you know, where's the place they can go to? How do they get in contact with you guys to get, you know, to get their, you know, maybe get their business involved with sim racing and VLR?
Definitely reach out to the VLR page along with the Discord, and then everything's usually listed online at racevlr.com. And like I said, the team I mentioned earlier, you reach out to any of us, we'll try to make everything happen. And like I said, it's a lot. We're excited for the Gobbler. I know the street stonkers are itching to hear what track it's going to be at and what it's going to pay to win. So like I said, thanks to everybody for supporting. And like I said, go to racevlr.com for more information.
Yeah, I tell you what, wouldn't Kern County Raceway be a spanner in the works to throw the Gobbler out? Something maybe the team at VLR can have a think about.
I'm telling you, we may have to do that, the infield course. I think that would be a little more exciting. I don't know if the street stock guys would like that or not, but I don't know. I mean, everyone says the Gobblers is the one that you can kind of get away with being rough at. I'd love to see it at a short track.
Fergie, on behalf of myself and, well, obviously Wes and Hugo, thank you very much for trusting us with the production and the commentary side of things for this one. Again, it's always a pleasure and an honor to do the Crown Jewel events for VLR, any VLR race, I should say. It's we hope that you've enjoyed the show so far, and we've still got 100 laps to get through.
Man, thank you guys again. I'm excited for it, and good luck to all the competitors.
All right, well, that was Chris Ferguson, ladies and gentlemen. Wes, our field is set. The drivers are currently off the racetrack. Race control just having a look at the racetrack, just making sure that it is all going to be a-okay when it comes to 100 laps around the dirt track at Charlotte. But there is, again, just a few things. Obviously, you know, we've spoken earlier on. I spoke about the Blake Majulis. You know, he's got a point. He wants to get back at basically the field for what happened on group number 1. There is just so many storylines that have already developed here over the first couple of groups, and then what we've seen develop in that last chance qualifier. There are so many storylines that we could potentially talk about in this 100 lap main event, and there's more stories going to develop throughout the course of that feature.
Absolutely. 100 laps is a really long time. I mean, strategy comes into play. That's what we were asking them about in the LCQ, because 40-lap race is a whole lot different than a 100-lapper. You've got to conserve your tires. You got to be in the right place at the right time. The pace is very fast. If your leaders are trying to get up to lap traffic in a hurry, you don't want to end up a lap down because you're not going to get that lap back. So you got to be in the right place at the right time. Maybe hope that those cautions fall your way a little bit. And if you're starting deep in the pack, then you better go from the drop of the green, because they're not going to cut you any slack at any point in this race.
All right, well, I can tell you our 26 starters, they are ready. They are chomping at the bit to get this race underway. And we are not too far away from having this one just unleash a VLR Crown Jewel event, the 2023 VLR Spartan Transportation Fall Frenzy, presented by Dirt Track Bank, live on RaceSpotTV, live on Victory Lane with the VLR Facebook page. It is about that time we throw the checkered on this warm-up session. Our hot laps for the main event cars is done and dusted, and a field have assembled. 26 drivers I'll ask you now before we get into the starting lineup. One winner, one hard charger. Who's your money on?
I think hard charger wise, you got to go with Connor New because he was impressive in that first qualifying feature, coming from deep in the pack, having to run through a B main. So I'll go with Connor New for the hard charger. I don't think he's going to have enough to get to the very front. And I think feature wise, I mean, it's the easy money would be betting on Evan C because of how dominant he's been this year. I think Blake Majulis breaks on through and gets back to the top step.
All right. Well, all right, so you've gone Blake Majulis, you've gone Connor New, hard charge. I can't really argue with those two picks because they're pretty good. They're pretty good themselves. Yeah, no, look, this is gonna be a tough one to pick. I mean, any one of these 26 drivers have got the capabilities to get the job done. Hard charger, I'm gonna go with Nathan Waddell. He's gonna come from the 19th spot, and the win, I'm gonna go full out left field here. I'm actually gonna go Logan Rumsey from the outside of that second row. Speaking of going to the starting lineup, let's take a look at your starting lineup for tonight's the VLR Spartan Transportation 4 Frenzy presented by Dirt Track Bag. Desmond Busby lines up on the pole position. To the outside of the front row, it's Evan C from position number 2. Blake Majulis rolls up at a position number 3. Logan Rumsey will start to his outside from position number 4. Third row will be James Edens will start from 5, and to the outside from 6, it'll be Mike Augustine.
We head back to row number 4. Starting on the inside will be Barrett Bishop in the 3 machine. To his outside, Hunter Rich in the 33 in the 8th position. Watch out for Dylan Hauser rolling off from position number 9 with Tanner Tomasi, who was your hard charger in qualifying Group B. He's going to roll off from 10th. Dylan Wilson and Chase Barber will make up row number 6.
Row 7 will be Keith Hackney from 13. From 14, it is Dylan Yeager. Row 8 is going to be Jamie Massey from 15. From 16, it's Alex Bergeron, Casey Brunson from 17th, and Ryan Hodge from position number 18.
Heading back to deep in the field, row number 10 on the inside. That'll be the 5 machine of Nathan Waddell. To his outside, just getting back in iRacing, Mason Crawford in the 15 machine. One of the late chargers in that first qualifying feature to grab a transfer spot, Justin Norwood will start inside row number 11 with Connor New to his outside. Trey Mills, who was one of your heat race pole setters, had a tough go, but in his qualifying feature, he'll make up inside row 12 with Jacob Fields to his outside.
And then your final row, your last chance qualifier transferees from position number 25. It's Talon Willis from position number 26. We'll see Hayden Tolleson make up a 26-car field. Another VLR Crown Jewel event. It's your 2023 Spartan Transportation 4 Frenzy main event time. $4,000 going to the winner. It's time to go 100 laps around the dirt track at Charlotte, and Desmond Busby shoots up down the front straight as we are green.
There's no question what the early game plan is for Busby. Just get out front and stay out front. Here comes James Dean to the inside of Majulis. He's going to get on the binders a little bit, stack them up. Here comes Rumsey around the outside. We're already 3 wide as Majulis sits there in the 3rd position. Or Majulis sits in 2nd, Evan C in 3rd, and Desmond Busby your early leader.
3 wide, Rumsey, Edens along with the 72 car there of Mike Augustine, but here comes Hunter Rich now around the outside. I think these drivers, and we're going to see this quite a lot. Just keep an eye on Logan Rumsey as well in that number 49 mission. I'm surprised to see him not falling just a little back just yet, because over the distance of a 100 lap main event, you're going to see drivers show their hand early. Then what they'll do, they'll slow down, they'll bring the times down. And there's one thing we'll keep an eye on as well, is the times throughout the course of this feature event, because that's going to be a big factor on how these drivers save their equipment. Right now, you're watching Augustine battle it out. He's leading what is a 3-4 car pack right now with James Edens and Hunter Rich on board with the 72 car. Mike Augustine through turn number 1 and 2 and down the back straightaway.
Your first 3 cars on a little bit of a breakaway. Still got a great battle here for the 5th position. Augustine has the edge right now. Hunter Rich trying to make the middle side work. Track's still pretty hammered down, so Edens might just be caught in the bad line there and losing some ground as Hunter Rich rolls to his outside down the back straightaway. Right there behind him, keep it on Tanner Tomasi as well. Tomasi looked really good at that second qualifying service. Edens going to fall back into line. We'll go single file for your first 7.
Watching Hunter Rich, Mike Augustine, James Edens of battle also there with Tanner Tomasi. Edens now gets up to the inside there of the 33 car. of Hunter Rich still out in front. There's Desmond Busby. He's got about just under 2/10 of a second lead, 3 wide, almost down the front straight. Edens and Rich still go side by side. We're on board with Tanner Tomasian, and these boys not only do they have to worry about saving the tire, but they've got to be careful and cautious of the damage as we go side by side. Battle for the race leaders, Blake Majulis, Evan C, and Desmond Busby. It's a 3-car battle for the race lead. Majulis up the inside, Busby to the outside. Evan C got the best seat now. Slide job by Majulis. Here comes Busby back to the inside, almost 3 wide down the front straightaway. Blake Majulis will lead lap number 9.
9 lap to the books, 91 to go. Little slider back by Busby. Here comes Majulis. He got tighter, following behind Busby there in the opening circuits of this one as Majulis slides him here. Busby going to fall back into line. We'll see if he throws the slider there in 1 and 2. That is going to burn up your tires. Evan C. Now he's going to fall back into line behind Majulis, try to get that second spot as Busby's kind of left down the dry. Here comes Logan Rumsey to the mix as well. This battle for the lead has allowed the 49 car to close.
Certainly has the 3-car battle for the lead. Is almost about to embark on a 4-car battle. I did say Logan Rumsey was going to be an absolute wild card, starting up near the front of the field, but Blake Majulis leads Evan C. So the Majulis C Speed Shop boys go 1 and 2 at the moment. Rumsey to the outside on Desmond Busby. Busby falls outside of a podium position. We tick off another lap of this 100-lap main event, and here comes Logan Rumsey. The 49 car is catching the 33 of Evan C as they work down into the 3rd and 4th turn one more time. Rumsey almost took a peek to the inside of turn number 4. Lap number 13 is complete.
As we heard from Rumsey during his interview from that Group B server when he finished second to C, he wants to stay in the middle of the racetrack. That's where he's comfortable. That's where his car is the most comfortable. That's where the racetrack is the fastest right now. Now it's back to a 3-car breakaway. Busby has lost a little bit of check with your top 3. Majulis continues to lead. C right there in second. Rumsey third. Then you go back to Busby in 4th. Mike Augustine still trying to hold on to the 5th spot with Hunter Rich, Tanner Tomasi, James Edens, Dylan Wilson, and Barrett Bishop rounding out your top 10 currently.
Yeah, looking at a lot of these drivers throughout this field, a lot of them running right through the middle of the racetrack. And probably as to be expected at the moment, considering that we're only what is now 16 laps into a 100-lap feature. There's still 84 laps left to run, and we're not even a 5th of the way there at the moment. Still a top 3 on screen, Majulis, C, and Rumsey. And Rumsey, you think as well, if he can stay with C and Majulis, as long as he's with him throughout the course of this feature event, he's going to be right there with him come the end of the main event, should they be there. C now nearly gets the front bumper near on the left rear quarter panel there of the 127 car. Blake Majulis. Majulis he's led probably about 10 laps at this stage, and spoke about lap times early on. Fastest lap for Evan C was a 14.725. That previous lap was a 15.230, so they're nearly fallen off from what has been 18 laps now from that second lap time to what we just seen then. That's nearly half a second, and already that's where the tire wear comes into it.
Absolutely, and the track's also starting to change quite a bit. We saw Majulis running right there around the crumbs of the racetrack. Evan C found something there in 1 and 2 on accident. He's going to battle for the lead here at the line. It looks like he's going to have it that time by. He's going to try to battle back on the inside, down the back straightaway. Majulis up top, side by side. C and Majulis, where we've heard this before. C going to slide up the speedway a little bit. Majulis has the line, gets a push that time by. Evan C, your third leader. This one, he's bringing Rumsey right there with him.
It was 7/1,000 of a second 2 laps ago, and it's a 1/10 of a second between your top 3. Now Majulis has got some company with Logan Rumsey down to the inside. Rumsey has just followed the 33 car of Evan C, and they've got a big gap. They've got about a 1.5 second gap back to 4th place driver Mike Augustine, who's gotten by Desmond Busby. Trey Mills currently at the moment sitting there at the back of the field in that number 14 machine, but the battle is on. You're still your top 3 on screen. So right now, Logan Rumsey finds himself in the middle of a Majulis C sandwich at the moment. The meet between the buns, and the 33 car has got the race lead. 24 down and 24 green flag laps. We have a bun. When do we start to do what we've seen in group number 2?
It's just going to be interesting to see what the racetrack does here, as this is really the separation we saw from the top 2 of Rumsey and C that we saw on Sunday night. Rumsey just kind of stays right there with him, doesn't really get too close, doesn't lose a whole bunch of ground. Right now it's about 4 car lengths between him and the 33 machine. Majulis stays right there in the footsteps of Rumsey. He's not really pushing the issue. They're about equidistant between each other. Evan C knew he wanted to get to the lead. He was kind of upset about having to drop behind 3rd, 4th there for a little bit in the early stages of this one. So he just kind of bided his time, waited for the opening, saw that Majulis was running a little bit of a different line than he wanted to. C powered by him, and now Evan C is leading the way. And, you know, he's looking for that big payday, looking to make over $20,000 in 1 year just right here on iRacing.
Yeah, it's unbelievable what Evan C could accomplish in 1 year here on the iRacing.com service if he was to pick up another crown jewel event and being the VLR Spartan transportation for Frenzy. But we know there's another 25 drivers that do want to settle and take that payday and check away from him. Evan C continues to lead the way, looking at who's made the biggest moves through the field. Connor New is up 7 positions, make that 6. Nathan Waddell from 19th to 14th. Talon Willis has gone from 25th to 18th. Jacob Fields has gone from 24th to 19th. So a handful of drivers that have made their way through a good portion of this field. Now here comes a battle for the race leader. Logan Rumsey trying to dive down to the inside there on Evan C as we continue. That is 30 laps into the books. Remember, group number 2 that Evan C and Logan Rumsey were a part of, and that was the drivers that were involved in that great race up front, and the battle for the lead was the 2 drivers out in front. And remember, you go back to Sunday night, that was a race, 40 laps that went green to checker, and we're nearly almost at that stage right now. We've gone 31.5 laps, green flag so far.
Rumsey took the lead on lap number 35 on Sunday night, but C was able to get it back on lap number 37. See what Rumsey does here. They're letting Zab copy, but you got that 127 hot on their heel, so if they make a mistake, Majulis could take advantage. He's led in this race already. Rumsey's the only one of these 3 who hasn't been out front. We're about to see what's going to happen here. He'll follow right behind C in 3 and 4. C seems to push up the racetrack just a little bit more on exit than Rumsey. Rumsey really good over in 1 and 2, though, as he diamonds down the speedway into the grip.
I'm really surprised to see, but also, where's another thing? Trey Mills sitting back there in position number 26. We go on board right there with Alex Bergeron with the Sean Forever and a picture in memory of Sean Timmerman, who we spoke about probably a good 15 minutes ago, and what he was able to accomplish in his life here on iRacing and also outside of iRacing. But another thing as well that these guys have got to be aware, and especially the back markers too, Wes, they don't want to be lapped by the leaders, because if you get lapped by the leaders, you've got to race your way back through the field and you've got to pass everybody. So is this a smart move by Evan C, Logan Rumsey and Blake Majulis to go hard, to push these guys at the back to go a little harder?
I don't know, but we just saw a slider for the lead. Rumsey throw a big slider on C. Had a good run there out of turn number 4, so he used the grip to slide up the speedway in 1 and 2. Now C's going to slide back up the racetrack. We're about to see how good exit is on the top side of the speedway, as they are certainly not holding anything back. We're still short of halfway by about 13 laps right now. We're on lap 38. Been clean and green so far, watching a great battle for the lead. Rumsey does not want to come up the bridesmaid once again to C.
Big slider from Rumsey into turn number 3 and 4. C now turns it back underneath him at the line. It was 0.014 of a second, so 14/100th of a second is all that separates Logan Rumsey and Evan C. And if these guys get the lap trap, it's going to be deja vu. If this was 40 laps, we would see it go green to checker all the way again. But it is a 100-lap feature event. Blake Majulis somewhat looks like he's just struggling a bit on board right now with Evan C, as we see the 49 car shoot down to the inside, slide up across the nose of the 33 of Evan C. C turns it back underneath him. He's got to play half a car length down the front straightaway. And now this time it's Evan C's turn. Evan C's turn to throw a slider on Logan Rumsey. And what a battle you've got for the lead. Rumsey and C once again. It's like a tennis match with sliders. You throw one, I'll throw one in the other turn. Let's go. What a battle you've got for the lead between C and Rumsey. This time Rumsey's got it through turn number 1 and 2 and down the back straight away. C going to go back down the inside. Now it's his turn to do exactly what Logan Rumsey did. Rumsey seen it coming, got on the binders and tried to turn it back underneath, but Evan C is going to lead lap number 42 and now bring in Blake Majulis.
Welcome to the VLR Slider Fest, apparently, as Evan C and Logan Rumsey putting on a show. Majulis just right there behind him, waiting for both of those drivers to make a mistake. Logan Rumsey becomes the 4th different leader so far in the first 44 laps of this one. As this time, Rumsey wanted to throw it again. He has to get on the binder. C takes that bottom line away, and now Rumsey going to lose some ground. He's going to fall into the grasp of the 127 of Blake Majulis. Majulis going to the outside in 3 and 4. Slider line inbound as Rumsey, did he show his hand too early? He gets up into the fence. That's going to cost him.
Beautiful, beautiful race awareness there by Blake Majulis. Had to get on, he got on the brakes, turned it underneath him. Otherwise, he would have got right into the rear, the left rear quarter panel of Logan Rumsey. Big slider there, trying to thread the needle, split the gap between Evan C. Logan Rumsey was Blake Majulis, and he did it at the line. Blake Majulis had second by not a whole lot, 3/100th of a second, and now it's Majulis and Rumsey who are going to throw sliders. Is this the case as well to see in Majulis take turns at maybe trying to use up the tires of the 49 car?
It's very possible, as these sliders really burn up that right rear tire as much as you sit there and spin, especially through the slick. Evan C is absolutely loving. If he could see what was going on behind him, he would love this slider fest that's happening, because he's opening up that gap more and more each time by. They're running 15.7s, 15.8s, whereas Evan C is running like 15.5s and 15.6s out front. He has gained already 6 car lengths over your battle for second.
So while this battle for second and third is happening, have a look in front of your race leader. You've got guys, there's 5 cars, they were almost 3 wide. So what if Justin Norwood, he went side by side with Hayden Tolleson and the 14 car of Trey Mills. These are the guys that are on the verge of potentially going a lap down, and we're only a lap away from half race distance, 49 laps, green flag. And these drivers, you can see on board Evan C right now, these drivers just in front of him, these are the back markers, these are the cars that do not want to go a lap down. And I'm sure they're looking at the relative, knowing that your race leader is starting to come thick and fast. And this is where they have to go. Halfway home, 50 down, 50 to go.
So halfway through this one, as another interesting thing to keep an eye on, as you mentioned, these guys don't want to go a lap down, so they're going to race hard as much as they can. They're also running different lines of the racetrack. You got Norwood on the bottom, you got Trey Mills up top, you've got Tolleson, who will be the first car to go a lap down right there at the middle of the racetrack. Looks like the middle's starting to come back around a little bit. Here comes Logan Rumsey back on the back bumper of Blake Majulis. Rumsey's starting to come back to life, but how much tire do these guys have left? They've thrown a lot of sliders, they've had a very fast pace. Yes, they've got a little bit of room between 4th and 5th for now, but Rumsey has found some speed once again in that 49 machine. He pulls the left three-quarter pedal on Majulis down the back straightaway.
Tires is going to be a big thing. Engine restrictors will also play a factor in how much these drivers can get on the gas. And if we do get a caution, maybe you can explain to all the viewers at what the engine restriction does right now. Battle again between Majulis and Rumsey. Let's see, starting to walk away with this one. Hayden Tolleson about to go a lap down as Evan C goes around the outside. He will officially put him a lap down. So Hayden Tolleson would need to get back by the 33 car to stay on the lead lap. Majulis still leading Logan Rumsey for 2nd and 3rd position. Majulis somewhat uses a mini slide line, enters mid-track and then slides it all the way to the concrete wall. 3 wide down the front straightaway. Lap car on the bottom of Hayden Tolleson. We're still 3 wide. Rumsey to the middle. Blake Majulis went to the middle as well.
Logan Rumsey there had a pretty good run at turn number 4 and 1 and 2. Kind of got pinched off a little bit. Couldn't get the run he was looking for. Tolleson lets those 2 drivers go. What about Chase Barbara and Tanner Tomasi marching their way through the field? Chase Barbara up from 12th to 6th. Tanner Tomasi up 6th position from 10th to 4th. As Tolleson is officially a lap down. C now sets his sights on the 4 of Justin Norwood. Rumsey still all over Majulis, but is he going to lose touch with your leader Evan C if he can't get by the 127?
Oh, Justin Norwood into the wall, just jumped the cushion. Now he's going to go a lap down as Evan C puts another lap car. That's the 2nd car to go a lap down. And what is going to be 58 laps. Green flag so far. Still 42 remain for the 33 car of Evan C as he'll come up to the back of the 14 machine of Trey Mills. Still watching Logan Rumsey all over the rear bumper of that 127 car of Blake Majulis. They're going to say Evan C is now 41 laps away from a $4,000 payday and a $20,000 payday this year.
He's going to put the lap car in about half a straightaway distance between him and Majulis. Majulis gets into the wall there. Here comes Rumsey to the inside. Rumsey finally gets that opening he's been looking for. Majulis so good at not making a mistake. Rumsey going to throw the slider right up in front of Majulis. Majulis has to get on the binders. Now Rumsey going to slide back up to the 2nd spot. He's still got the lap car of Norwood in between them, and there's our first Cruz Pedregon Esports caution flag of the feature. Mercy me. Went such a long time with that one. 60 green flag laps. And I believe that'll be that's going to bunch everybody back up. That's going to make lap cars just out of the problem, out of the equation. That's going to bunch everything up and make it awful wild. Jamie Massey will receive the EOL on that caution.
Yeah, just got into the back of Mason Crawford. You see there on your Cruz Pedregon Esports instant replay. So the 19 car of Massey gets into the back of the 15, and with that, that's going to still put Hayden Tolleson and Justin Norwood. So they're still 1 lap down. Mason Crawford coming back into the pit area, so he'll get some running repairs on the 15 machine. But with what has been 60 green flag laps before our first caution, that is a mammoth effort from 26 drivers. Let that sink in for a second. 26 cars, and we went 60 green flag laps.
That's super impressive, especially for the quality of field that we have here, and these guys so close. And every opening they're willing to take, they're going to throw sliders, and they may not clear you by much, but they're certainly going to go for every opening they've got. So very impressive, and hats off to them going the first 60 green. I think this first one though is really going to kind of open the playbook up for some people. It gives a chance to guys like we were mentioning, like Tanner Tomasi, Chase Barbara, who've been marching through the field. Tomasi up 6 positions, Chase Barbara up 6 positions. Back through the field, you got guys like Connor New from 22nd up to 15th. Talon Willis is up 9 positions right now from 25th to 16th. So keep an eye on those guys. Those guys now get a chance. They lost all that ground. Such a big racetrack like this, distance is such a big thing. When you get them bunched up, you got to make what move you can, and we're about to see that happen here. Rumsey, though, he's going to be on the outside on this restart. What does he do to see?
I guess we'll have to wait and see, as right now, Evan in the 33 car. Evan C will lead us back to the green flag, and already, look at that, your first 3 cars, C, Majulis and Rumsey, they already got a good couple of car lengths over Tanner Tomasi in that 4th position. Majulis back down to the inside, down into turn number 3 and 4. Majulis trying to stick the low side through 3 and 4. 3 wide for the race lead. C on the top. Rumsey in the middle, Majulis on the inside. Majulis and Rumsey just got caught up with one another at the midway point of the front stretch. They keep it going now. In comes the 09 car of Tanner Tomasi. Chase Barbara right there with him as well. Then you go back to Desmond Busby, who was your initial pole sitter, who just shot out like a rocket in those opening couple of laps. But it was the likes of Evan Seed, Logan Rumsey, Blake Majulis made quick work of that one as we get put lap number 64 behind us. 36 laps left to run, and it is still Evan C out in front.
Blake Majulis could really make the bottom work there in 1 and 2, at least on that initial restart, but then falling back in the line here. 3 and 4 didn't really have any run off the corner. Tanner Tomasi and Chase Barber have been really impressive. As Augustine gets in there a little hot, Adelson a car around, we'll get them bunched back up. We stay green, 66 laps, or working lap number 66, 65 laps in the books. Majulis goes back to the bottom and turns 1 and 2 as Logan Rumsey starts to close back in on Evan C. That time by, he closed in about 2 car lengths. Rumsey just sticking to his guns right to the middle of the racetrack, exactly where he wants to be. We haven't really seen the top come into play so much in the early going of this one.
Yeah, one thing to note, James Edens there on that caution was sitting in about the 10th position. Actually went in to get a fast repair, so he had to go back to the tail end of the field. So it'll be interesting to see how far James Edens can actually come back through this field and where he will end up later on after we finish this one. We've completed lap number 67. We're about to complete lap number 68. It is Evan C leading with what is now 32 laps left to run. A $4,000 payday is almost in his fingertips, but he's still going to get through. He's got to make sure that he's got enough tires right now, but I'm going to say he's got a good gap back to Logan Rumsey. He's almost got half a second, and it's a similar sort of gap back to Blake Majulis, Tanner Tomasi, then Chase Barbara. So there's 1.5 seconds separating your top 5. Barbara's gone from 12th to 5th. Let's keep an eye on Desmond Busby as well. How much tire saving has Desmond done throughout the course of the first what is almost now going to be 70 laps?
It's going to be interesting to see as we complete lap number 70 here. 30 laps remaining for $4,000. And right now, Evan C has turned up the wick a little bit. He's back to running 15.8s and 15.7s in front of Rumsey. So keep an eye on that as the pace is picked back up in the final 30 laps of this one. Rumsey, he's really good through the middle of the racetrack, but he's not really making up any ground. Your top 6 on a bit of a breakaway. Your top 2 really been the class of the field, looking just like it did in the second server on Sunday night. Right now, rounding out your top 10 is Wilson, Augustine, Bishop, and Hunter Rich. So keep an eye on that. Oh, there's our second Cruz Pedregon Esports caution flag of the race. It was bound to happen. We know it gets a little more dicey when you finally get to the late stages of this one, and that'll bring out our second caution of the night.
Barrett Bishop in the 3 car. Look at the contact there with Hunter Rich and Mike Augustine. Just set the 3 car in a 50-50 skate grind here. He's thinking he's Tony Hawk and wanted to get up on the fence and just grind away. So Barrett Bishop is the reason for the second Cruz Pedregon Esports caution. We come back to live pictures from the virtual dirt track at Charlotte. And I was just going to mention as well, lap times, just very quickly. So Evan C, he did his fastest lap on lap number 2 with a 14.725. On lap number 71, that lap was a 15.828. That is 1 second slower than what we've seen on that second lap. Now, I said if we got a caution, engine restrictors. Where's the people for the people that don't know? What can you tell us about engine restrictors?
I like to call it the handicap for the throttle happy is what I call it with an engine restrictor. It's all about being when you're in the slick like that, you want to limit as much wheel spin as possible. So engine restrictor allows you to kind of bog your car down just a little bit, so you're not sitting there spinning, so you're not losing all that ground. Some guys, they prefer to just keep it wide open, use all 900 to 950 horsepower, and just let the foot do the work. Some guys would rather the race car do the work. So that's kind of the play there. I know a lot of these main guys, I think they kind of stick with the wide open race car, and they just kind of adjust it. They've turned so many laps, but it's definitely something some of these guys have thought about.
So Mike Augustine being charged with the cause of that caution after making the contact with Hunter Rich in the 33 car. Safety car off. Evan Z gets back on the gas. The green flag waves. We go back underway. 28 to run here at the dirt track in Charlotte, the virtual dirt track in Charlotte, in the VLR Spartan Transportation Full Frenzy, presented by Dirt Track Bank and Evan C. Good gap over Logan Rumsey, but now Tanner Tomasi. Oh boy, look out. Blake Majula's come across the nose of Tanner Tomasi. He just got a little tight there. They made a little bit of contact, and poor old Tanner Tomasi goes from third. He's now going to slip outside the top 5 as Chase Barbara's moved his way to position number 4. And here comes Desmond Busby back into this picture as well. Look at Dylan Wilson and Dylan Hauser. 3 wide, Hunter Rich through the middle. 4 wide.
There's no more holding back in the rest of this race as we are 4 wide back through the pack. Rich in the middle of the sandwich along with Wilson. Got Connor New on the bottom. New has made his way back up into the top 10 after starting deep into the field. We said he was one to keep an eye on. New rolling right around the hub of the racetrack. Still, it's a top 3 breakaway out front on that restart. Tanner Tomasi got a really good start on Blake Majulis. Majulis just slid on up right up across the nose of Tomasi. Majulis holds 3rd. Tomasi pulls back to 5th as now he's got company Desmond Busby on the inside.
Man, they were 4 wide down the back straightaway. Connor New was on the inside. Now he's on the inside of a 3 wide battle. Dylan Wilson, Hunter Rich. You can see Connor New in the 10 car. He's literally come from the shadows right now. We seen it on Sunday night. Connor New was able to get one of the hard charging positions. He's now doing it again from 22nd. He's inside the top 10. He sits in position number 8 at the moment. He goes to the low side. Now he's closing in on the back of the 2 car of Dylan Hauser. Has anybody got anything for your race leader? No, not quite just yet. Evan C, Logan Rumsey, Blake Majulis, no change. We still watch Dylan Wilson on screen. Hunter Ridge, they'll make a little contact there at the front straightaway. We've got 21 laps left to run. On board right now with Trey Mills. He's just sitting behind that 80 machine, the D1RT. They were 3 wide down into turn number 3. The yellow will come out. The Cruise Pentagon Esports caution flag, and I believe...
I think Jacob Fields kind of got the short end of that one. I saw him kind of looping around, get caught up in the fence. Not sure what happened. I'll take a look at the replay here in just a few moments. As, their Fields got a little help, and I think that's Jamie Massey who got him getting the 19 machine. There's James Edens, who he'd said had restarted in the back of the pack after taking a quick repair. Alex Bergeron kind of deep through the field as well. Fields slid up just a little bit, and Massey got into him, and there it was chaos and calamity.
Well, Massey just getting into the back of Fields, and that's the second time that Massey got into the back of Lob in turns 3 and 4, turns 3, I should say, and now he's done Jacob Fields in turn number 2, so we'll see what race control they're going to deal with that one. But we get 21 laps left to run. Again, we've already seen what Evan C, Logan Rumsey, and Blake Majulis have got. They've already shown their pace on what they've been able to do so far. Keep an eye on Barbara. Chase Barbara is one of those drivers who has been able to win other league races and championships and been a contender in the World of Outlaws Case Construction Late Model World Championships. He's been a driver that has really been super impressive, and keen to see what he can do here in these final 21 laps of this main event. But can the drivers from Group 2, can they dominate this race? Evan C, Logan Rumsey, can they go back-to-back on what they did on Sunday night?
It's very possible, as we've seen those two really dominate so far. Chase Barbara has been really good. He's just needing that top of the resume win. This could be it if he can hold on. Rumsey going to actually restart on the bottom as C chooses the top. Looks like it's worked out pretty well for the 33 machine as Majulis already all over the back bumper. Rumsey, here comes Rumsey to the inside of C in turns 1 and 2.
Rumsey, oh boy, look out, Connor New into the wall. The right front is broken on the 10 machine. Oh, heartbreak for the 10. He's trying to stop on the racetrack to bring out the caution. It looks like we're going to continue to stay green. Rumsey goes down to the inside slide, jump for the race lead, slides up across the nose of the 33 car. C turns it back underneath the races for the lead. 19 to run at the start-finish line. C, Rumsey, Hauser now made his way into the top 5. C's got it by a front bumper as Evan C and Logan Rumsey, like what they did on Sunday night in group number 2 main event. They are going to battle for the race lead. Blake Majulis is there with him as well. Oh, Rumsey windows going deep, but Evan C, he shut the door massively in the middle of turn on the entry into turn number 3.
82 laps in the books as Evan C retakes the lead from Logan Rumsey. Rumsey cuts C a little bit of a break there. He got in there a little bit hot. He could have pushed him up the speedway and up into the wall. Rumsey gets on the binders, lets the 33 get back away, lives to find another day. Chase Barber sitting right there in 4th. Dylan Hauser, where did he come from? He's up to the 5th position. He's got that car rolling. Tanner Tomasi sitting back there in 6th. Chase Barber going to step to the outside of Blake Majulis. Is the top side starting to come around in the last little bit of this race as we come around this time by to complete lap number 84, 16 laps remaining.
There's one guy that knows how to get around the cushion here on the iRacing.com service. It's the 23 car of Chase Barber. We're closing in at the completion of this lap. We are 15 laps remaining, 85 complete. Barber to the inside of Majulis down into turn number 3. Majulis still holds strong. It's still C, Rumsey, Majulis, 1, 2, and 3. Barbara, Hauser. Then you go back to Tomasi, Busby, Brunson, Wilson on board right now with Chase Barber. Huge slider there on Blake Majulis. Look at the bottom right of your corner. Majulis turns it back underneath him, right across the nose of the 23, and they make contact going down into turn number 1.
Chase Barber will take over the 3rd spot, and then as Dylan Hauser smells blood in the water, he's going to close in the back bumper of Majulis. Now, does Chase Barber have anything for your top 2? He was really becoming a key factor in the final few laps of this one. 87 laps complete, still 13 laps remaining. Logan Rumsey staying right there with Evan C last time by. Looks like C was about 30 thousandths of a second faster than Rumsey. Barber's got to make up a lot of ground, nearly a half straightaway, as that battle with Majulis really cost him a lot of ground as we close in on 10 to go.
Certainly did. 12 laps left to run, so almost closing in on what will be a heat race distance away from a $4,000 crown jewel event payday in the 2023 VLR Spartan Transportation Full Frenzy. Watching right now, Barber in position number 3. Hauser closing in on the back of Majulis in the 127 machine. We know the history of Majulis and Hauser and what they've done and their rivalry on iRacing and what been showcased all throughout the service, and well, could that be a storyline developing right here? But 10 laps left to run for Evan C, and right now it is $400 a lap as long as he can lead all these final last 10 laps.
Evan C continues to build that advantage. Last time by, he was a 1/10 of a second faster than Rumsey. That time by, it's about a 1/2 a tenth faster than the 49 machine. Rumsey has got to figure something out in a hurry. When is he going to show his hand if he can get to the back bumper of Evan C? C seems like his car has gotten better and better. Big battle for the 3rd spot. Majulis runs Barber up the racetrack. Majulis will take that 3rd position right back. Here comes Dylan Hauser. He wants one of those podium positions as well. He'll take a peek to the inside of Barber, and he's going to have a runner on Majulis down the back straightaway.
Oh, this is going to be an interesting storyline developing. Majulis, Barbara, and Hauser as they work through turn number 3 and 4. 7 laps left to run. Barbara, Hauser make a bit of contact at the start-finish line on the front straightaway. Hauser still trying to work over the 23 car through turn number 1 and 2. Will he try and do it in 3 and 4? Yes, he is. Runs a somewhat of a slide line into 3 and 4. Goes to 23 of Chase Barber. Opens up the inside line there for Dylan Hauser. Hauser had 4th at the start-finish line, not by a whole lot, by 1/2 a tenth of a second, and Barbara Hauser once again, they're banging door battles down the back straightaway.
Dylan Hauser going to squeeze it on in there. He's going to make the race car fit. He'll take over the 4th spot for at least the time being. We'll see if Barber returns the favor as we return back up front with 5 laps remaining. Oh, Barber going to give him a little shot to the shorts. We stay green, 3 wide down the back straightaway. Tanner Tomasi sees an opening. He's back up to the top 5. And oh my, that changes everything. Another Cruz Pedregon Esports caution flag flies with 5 to go. This is going to be wild. 5-lap dash for $4,000.
Oh, James Eaton's nowhere to go on that exchange. It was a 3 car, Barrett Bishop, who just got stuck into the concrete wall. We'll see if we can bring that up on the Cruz Pedregon Esports instant replay. Here it is. Watch the 52 car. So watch the 3 car in front of him, just jump the cushion, gets into the wall right there, and unfortunately the 52 car went around. Talon Willis in the 10 also caught a piece of that one. And that's why our yellow flag in the Cruz Pedregon Esports caution flag is out. And with 4 laps left to run for your race leader of Evan C, once we go back to green, I said it, 10 laps left to run. It was a $400 pay per lap. It now increases over the next 4 laps. If he wins, he can just count it. $1,000, $2,000, $3,000, $4,000. But you know there is a hungry field behind that 33 car wanting that $4,000 crown jewel event.
There's no doubt. If anybody sees an opening, they're going to go after C here. Interesting little development here on this restart. Last time we had a double file restart, C chose the top, and Rumsey got a really good start on the bottom and battled C for the lead. This time, C will elect the bottom. Is that the right move for a 4-lap dash for $4,000? What does Dylan Hauser do here? Does he get a good restart on the top side? Does he make a move here? We haven't seen Hauser in the early mix of your leaders so far, but he has been marching back through the pack. It's going to be interesting to see. Pace Truck has pulled it off. 4 laps, $4,000. Who's going to walk away with the victory?
Will it be the 49 of Logan Rumsey? Will it be the 33 of Evan C? And a good start of Rumsey on the outside. And it's literally a drag race to the start-finish line. And Hauser alongside Blake Majulis down the front straightaway. C gonna slide up in front of Rumsey. Rumsey will turn it back underneath Hauser to the outside on Blake Majulis down into turn number 3. Rumsey's got the lead with 3 to run.
Evan C gave him a little shot to the shorts in the back end of the 49 machine. Does C go for the slider in 1 and 2? Will he use up the 49? They're going to bang doors down the back straightaway. Rumsey still has the edge. Here comes Dylan Hauser. Here comes Blake Majulis. Going to duke it out for the win. We come around this time. 2 to go. C into the side of Rumsey for the lead.
Here comes Hauser, nearly 3 wide, will make it 3 wide down into turn number 1 and 2, 4 wide off turn number 2, Rumsey splits the middle, and he goes back to the race lead. C comes back after Rumsey down into turn number 3 and 4, driving him up the wall, Blake Majulis down to the inside, white flag is out, C into the concrete wall, C's out, who's going to get it through 1 and 2? Majulis has got the run down the back straightaway, Hauser, here he comes, Tomasi right there with him, your 2023 VLR Spartan Transportation main event winner is Blake Majulis! Majulis wins a $4,000 payday! Are you kidding me? Oh, you've got a feel for Logan Rumsey! Can you believe it?
Rumsey did everything he needed to do to put himself in the right spot. Evan C, he's racing for $4,000, trying to make every move he can for that big payday, gets into the side of Rumsey, and the top 2 drivers, all 98 laps long, get into each other, and Blake Majulis, right place, right time. Same thing we saw in Group 1 on Sunday. Blake Majulis now a winner, $4,000 richer.
Your 2023 VLR Spartan Transportation Fall Frenzy main event winner is the man on screen. He drives the Majulis Speed Shop car number 127 machine. Blake Majulis, $4,000 richer. How about Hauser? He was right there in the thick of things. Tanner Tomasi came home 3rd. See if we can bring your results up on screen before we chat to our podium here in just a few moments' time. The results coming up on screen. Blake Majulis gets the win. Dylan Hauser 2nd. 3rd will be Tanner Tomasi. Desmond Busby 4th. Logan Rumsey, heartbreaking commiserations. He was close to a $4,000 payday. He'll come home 5th. Chase Barbara 6th. Mason Crawford, Dylan Wilson, Hunter Rich, and Dylan Yeager. Those drivers going to round out your top 10. We'll go over the page 11 through to 20th. 11th is going to be Casey Brunson. Jacob Fields home in 12th. Barrett Bishop 13th. Mike Augustine 14th. Nathan Waddell 15th. Alex Bergeron, Trey Mills, James Edens, Ryan Hodge. Talon Willis will come home in position number 20, and he was the last car on the lead lap. Evan C, who had led for probably over 3/4 of that race, he'll come home a lap down in 21st. Hayden Tolson 22nd. Justin Norwood, Connor Newt, Jamie Massey, and Keith Hackney, your 26 drivers in the Spartan Transportation Fall Frenzy, presented by Dirt Track Bank, live on RaceSpotTV, live on the VLR Facebook page. Wesley, that finish, I mean, we knew it was coming, but boy, this race just lived up to the hype and the expectations. What a way to crown a VLR Spartan Transportation Fall Frenzy Crown Jewel main event.
We saw it was rather tame for the first early bit of that one, and then a caution with 4 laps to go makes it insane. We have the battle for the lead there with C and with Rumsey throughout the race. Then you have Hauser and Majulis throw their name in the hat. You see Evan C, your race-long leader, up into the fence there on the broadcast, coming just past the white flag. At that point, there's no cautions. It's all about who is going to get back to the line first. Tanner Tomasi, he had a great run as well in that 09 machine. Just aggressive racing when you got big money on the line. That's exactly what happens. So congratulations to Blake Majulis on the win.
Big money on the line, and well, none other than Moneybags. Blake Majulis is now a $4,000 richer in the Spartan Transportation Fall Frenzy presented by Dirt Track Bank. Blake Majulis, Blake, how does it feel once again to pick up another Crown Jewel event, but to pick up $4,000? How are you feeling after that one?
Oh, dude, unbelievable. So stoked right now, so happy, but finally, just everything, I just got lucky. That's all it is. And sometimes it's better to have luck than speed, and that's what you saw here tonight. And yeah, I just got lucky, man. I knew with something 5 to go, I knew they were gonna send it there. Rumsey had really good short run speed. Evan, I felt like he was really good in the long run, and I changed something before the feature, just was real sideways and kind of unbalanced, and yeah, it worked in the beginning to get the lead, and then I kind of let Evan have it and followed him for a bit, and then I fell off hard. But yeah, you know, everything played out, right time, right place, and here we are. So I'm just so thankful to have everything go my way for once, and yeah, it's a good night for sure.
Spoke to you Sunday night after your podium there. You weren't too happy. You said that the gloves were off. You weren't going to take any more crap, as I'll put it real politely. You were, I guess we could say you were annoyed after Sunday night's effort, and well, I guess the redemption story is now complete.
Yeah, I got into a lot of stuff on the prelim night there, but it all worked out and transferred into the night in a much better way. So didn't have to do any of that. You know, I got into Tanner Tomasi there in 3 and 4 a little bit on a slider, got into him, but other than that, we were clean the whole race. So I apologize to him, and a good run for him as well. And yeah, man, just no words right now, no words.
Blake, congratulations on being crowned the 2023 VLR Spartan Transportation Fall Frenzy main event winner, presented by Dirt Track Bag. We know there's a whole list of sponsors, a whole list of, and a whole lot of people behind the scenes to make this possible for you in the 127 car, and an opportunity right now to thank everybody involved.
Yeah, I'm going to need a minute, but I got to thank Evan C. First of all. You know, he's my right-hand man. He is the man, actually. So, you know, he had the speed tonight. If that yellow didn't come out, we all know what happened. So, just, yeah, I got to thank him mainly, and just what a run for us. And it's been a crazy week getting all of our guys ready, and just happy to have good speed here all week, and everyone running good and up front. So, got to thank him, and Majulis C Speed Shop and Hole, Chris Ferguson, WR1 Sim Chassis, Chad Wheeler. Hopefully he's watching tonight. Represent Limited, Cruise Pentagon Racing, my man. He's a good guy, does a lot for me. Reliable Energy Solutions, Jeff Swilly. Design 75 for the sweet looking ride. Tyler Burrow at TAC 3 Defense. Team VLR, everyone over there. Steve, Howard, everyone that put this race on. I appreciate it. And all the sponsors and you guys for broadcasting. Thank you very much.
Blake, congratulations on the main event victory, and you are $4,000 richer. Go and celebrate, buddy.
Let's go, Brett. Thank you, brother.
Blake Majulis, your 2023 VLR Spartan Transportation Fall Frenzy, presented by Dirt Track Bank, a main event winner after 100 laps. We'll send it over to Wes Squalder, who's standing by with a man that comes home second place tonight of Dylan Hauser.
Dylan, you got a copy?
What up?
Dylan, dude, you were rather quiet for about the first 3 quarters of that race, and all of a sudden it's like something come alive in that 2 machine. You're right there at the end. Come up 1 spot short, but what a race for you.
Yeah, we went a little different strategy this time, not starting up front like we usually do. We figured we'd ride around the back there and just save our stuff and hope for a yellow there, and we got one around lap 40 something, I think 50 or so, and really just started charging through the field to get up there before the race was over, and we did that. We just came up 1 spot short, man. It's like king of second. I mean, fuck.
Let's talk about that restart a little bit. What's kind of going through your mind, especially when you see C and Rumsey, your top 2 for much of that race, get into each other? It's you and Majulis again. We've seen that many a times.
Yeah, I mean, you probably knew it by the end of this thing. Those 4 were going to be at the front, and I knew with a restart with 4 to go, it was gonna be fucking mayhem, and we went off on the one there, and they were sideways with each other. So I was just trying to arc my corners a little bit to cross both of them under, and I did. And then like me and Majules hit, and then they hit, and I would have had the race won if I didn't shove tight all the way in the fucking one like a madman. But nothing you can do when the car's been out of shape off the bars. So we just brought it home in second. We tried to drag race him to the line, but he just had too much momentum on the bottom. He was, I don't know there. I gotta look at the setup a little bit, see where the tires were at. But all in all, the car was good. The drive up through the field there with 50 to go from 15th to drive it to second. I'm just so sick of second place. I've never ran second more in my life.
Well, see if you can do one better next big race. But we got to thank all those sponsors in that race car too. Tell us all about them.
Yeah, big thanks to Solar Transport LLC. Chris is a big supporter of mine. He helps me and my team out a ton. Everybody at House of Speed iRacing setups. You know, when we come to this race, usually you can count on either House of Speed winning or CFM winning. So it's good to be put there in that top tier bracket with all with me and Blake and Evan. I mean, we're pretty much the cream of the crop when it comes to this shit. So shout out to all my guys at House of Speed. Everybody that tested with me today. We had a ton of guys testing. I mean, our Discord's going crazy. Thank you guys for putting this on. I got to thank Hans Performance, Gears Unlimited, just everybody. I'm sure I'm forgetting some people. Big thanks to Cruz, Cadell. He stuck with me through thick and thin, through a lot of crazy shit that's happened the last couple months with the team. And we're slowly getting an army put back together, and I think we're only going to get stronger and stronger. So pretty soon we'll be on the top step here in one of these big ones soon.
Well, congratulations, man, on a great run.
Thank you. Hey.
Yes, sir. You had one more thing?
Yeah, check out Plum Crazy Podcast after the race. It's going to be plum crazy.
Well, he's not wrong on that one. Dylan Hauser home in second spot. We'll chat to the final driver that comes away on the podium here tonight, driving the 09 machine. He drove his way from position number 10, and he finds himself finishing in the third spot. It's Tanner Tomasi. Tanner, congratulations on third place, and boy, a chaotic last 4 laps. Talk us through those final few moments of that race.
Yeah, dude, I don't even know. That all felt like one lap. There's just so much going on. It was a war zone, you know, but I think any other race would have been the same way with a restart. That little to go, tires killed, everyone's heated, trying to get money. And, you know, Blake got lucky. Obviously, he was good the whole race. I wanted to call him every word I could think of in my creative little imagination after one of those sliders, but I don't know. It's just tough race, and I'm just excited to be able to finish where we did, show all the hard work that we put in the last week.
Over the last couple of nights, obviously locking yourself in from Sunday night's group to straight into tonight's main event. What was the testing like for you and that 09 team over the last couple of nights?
You kind of cut out throughout the whole thing.
What's been the testing like for yourself in that 09 camp over the past couple of nights from that prelim night?
It's been relentless. Like, I think I ran probably 600 laps each day, just going in 100 lap runs, which obviously I should have tested qualifying better, because I definitely would have liked to start up front more, because I knew starting 10th in this kind of a race was going to be near impossible to get up to the front, but we made the best of it. And you know, like I said, I'm just happy to be able to go up as many spots as we were able to.
Tanner, congratulations on this third place finish here tonight in the 2023 VLR Spartan Transportation Full Frenzy presented by Dirt Track Bank. We'll let you thank everybody involved on this 09 machine for helping you here get onto a podium.
Yeah, I just want to thank everybody at VLR for putting this up. You know, I know it's not easy to put up these kind of big races, especially in this time. Thank you guys for the broadcast. Everybody over at Speed Ranch, they helped me out so much to get us where we are today. JC Floyd for being up on the sticks, clear high, clear low, you know. Dirty South Speed Shop, JB Craighead, Kent Hunley, Stephen Gaines, ML Performance, Shock iRacing Performance, Cocky Floyd Consulting, just everybody behind the scenes that just keeps us going the way we're going.
Tanner, well done on third place, buddy.
Thank you.
Tanner Tomasi home in third place in the main event. And Wes, well, that wraps up the Spartan Transportation Full Frenzy. On Sunday night, we've seen two wild groups, I should say, to lock in 24. We've seen a wild last chance qualifier, and then we've seen an absolute wild. It basically put up those last 4 laps was an absolute slugfest in this main event, but we crown a champion in Blake Majulis tonight.
Yeah, we did. We started with a wild prelim there on Sunday night, that first server, whenever we had the battle for the lead. The top 2 end up wrecking, and then Desmond Busby takes advantage. Tonight, we kind of see the same thing here, where Logan Rumsey, Evan C. kind of seemed like the class. Phil Majulis was right there behind him, just kind of biding his time, waiting for the opening. He gets it on the final restart, 4-lap dash for $4,000. Blake Majulis back atop once again.
Actually, I'm going to send you down trackside to chat to Mason Crawford, who was tonight's hard charger, going from 20th to 7th, I believe it was.
Mason, you got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Mason, you stepped away from iRacing for a little bit, but it didn't look like it took very long to knock that rust off for the 15 machine.
Yeah, I gave it my best shot. Originally game planned, I knew I couldn't outdrive these guys nowadays. They got way too many more laps than me, but knew I couldn't outdrive them, so I tried to outsmart them. Just planned on saving my stuff and rolling the bottom until, like what happened at the end. Everyone gets real aggressive, and I can kind of just sneak on up there and poke my nose in for a top 10.
I want to ask you about that, since you mentioned that last couple laps there and the chaos there. What did it look like from your point of view? What was the 15 seeing in front of it?
I mean, at certain times, it was just kind of close your eyes and hold on and hope you're not a part of it. And luckily we weren't, so we ended up getting that, 7th place finish.
Well, let's talk about all the sponsors on that race car that helped the 15 with the hard charger tonight.
Big Daddy, Warner Race Engines, and Webb Excavation.
All right, man. Well, congratulations on being the hard charger. Great run as well, coming home 7th.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much. Y'all have a good one.
I got to say, not about information Crawford. Remember, he was actually the one that actually got turned from Jamie Massey to bring out, I believe, what was our first caution of the night.
Yeah, I believe you're right on that one. Yeah, he was part of that very early caution, kind of bided his time back there as well. And as he mentioned there in that interview, he waited for the opening. He knew something crazy was going to happen, and, well, Crystal Ball was right. Something crazy did, and he gained 13 positions. Congratulations to him on hard charge.
Absolutely, certainly was an absolutely crazy night to finish off the Spartan Transportation Fall Frenzy presented by Dirt Track Bank. Again, a huge thank you to the title sponsors of Spartan Transportation, along with Dirt Track Bank being the presenting sponsor. Massive shout out to, of course, Cruise Pedregon Esports for being our caution and replay sponsors for the for night number 1 and what is night number 2. Here's next, of course, Majulis Speed Shop for being the presenting sponsor of night number 1. And again, with our individual race sponsors, Speed Ranch set up being the qualifying sponsors, the Dirt Track Challenge for being the sponsor of Heats 1, 2, 3, and 4. Plum Wild Podcast, which is going to be happening after this one. They were the Heat Race 5 sponsors. Of course, Logan Motorsports bringing you all the B mains for Group 1 and Group 2. And of course, our A main sponsors for Group number 1 was Spartan Transportation, Steve Whittaker Racing for Group number 2 main event. Of course, we can't forget our wonderful sponsors, people and teams and businesses that helped out with the individual lap sponsors. We certainly appreciate it. But that will wrap it up here on RaceSpotTV and on the VLR Spartan Transportation page. On behalf of Wesley Gwaltney, my co-commentator, Hugo Louis down in the production trailer, on behalf of everybody at VLR and the Spartan Transportation Fall Frenzy, my name is Brett Wheeler, signing off, saying good night. Congratulations to Blake Majulis.